Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Already we're live, and let me just get my chair bits here. There we go. Already we're live, and as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working with pointers in C++. Last stream I went through pointers as well, but I did have a lot of college stuff and like assignments, so I had to stop the stream. That said, I'm going to be working on pointers and review on what I did last stream, plus add new content. So let me go to my gameplay screen. Okay, and say something like, actually, goodbye, so say chat, there we go. Okay, let me just get this a little lower. Okay, let me say something like, let's say, I'm live, exclamation. Maybe hydrate my lips, because my lips are pretty hydrated. Okay, listen up everyone in the stream. Today my pupil Vivek returns to the battlefield of memory itself, the realm of pointers. Last stream, this warrior learned the pass address manipulation. Okay, I learned to pass address, manipulate health and mana, and command memory like a true architect of the machine. But today we dive deeper. Before the storm begins, remember these words. Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the judgment that something else is more important than fear, by Ambrose Red Moon. Is that how I pronounce the name? Okay. And for programming, that something more important is understanding fear, the bugs, crashes, and confusion means nothing when your mind is sharper than the code itself. Now, my pupil, we begin with review. We'll revisit pointer basics, pointer and functions, dereferencing to modify values, pointer plus conditional logics, the update status challenge. Okay. Once we forge your foundation, we'll march into the dynamic memory and pointer arrays where you not just control one value, but the entire, excuse me guys, but the entire system of data in real time. Ready for your code editor, pupil? Show your audience that memory blends to your will, bends to your will. Let me say something like, ready, let's say, exclamation. Okay, good. That's the part I want to see in your eyes, my people. Let's begin our pointer review and make sure that your fundamentals are stronger or sharper than before. We start with something simple, but essentially the core of all pointer is understanding. So pointer review drill, the basics. Okay, so I gotta write a program that does the following. It declares a variable called health, which only consists of integers. The value is gonna be 100. Create a pointer named health PDR that stores the address of the health variable. Print both the values of the health variable, the memory address of the health variable using the address of operator health, the value stored in the pointer, so health PDR using the referencing operator. Example output address will differ, of course. Okay, let me get syntax. Let's chat GPT here. Yo, howdy Mochi Mochi, I appreciate you joining this stream. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let me start off by including a pair of ankle braces. So I'll go with hashtag include a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream, and then let's see, let me go ahead and create a main function. So I'll go with integer main, a pair of parentheses, and then a pair of curly braces. Okay, perfect. So firstly, I gotta create a variable called health, which only consists of integers. So I could go with something like integer health, okay, which equals to a pair of curly braces 100. So the value is 100. Honestly, I wouldn't even need a pair of curly braces. Okay, that said, and then I gotta create a pointer called health PDR that stores the address of my health variable. So I could go with something like integer of health PDR, okay, health pointer, which equals to a address of operator, my health variable. Okay, honestly, I feel like I should dereference it, so let's go with an asterisk. There we go. Okay, next up, print both values. The value of health, the memory address of health using health, the value stored in the pointer. Okay, so I could go with something like a standard character output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like, let's say, value of health. Okay, there we go. My value of my health variable is going to be... Okay, guys, I don't want the stream to start lagging this soon. But that said, oh my gosh, it's so annoying when the stream starts lagging. Guys, I'm really close to getting the PC, like I almost found all parts. Okay, that said, my value of my health is gonna be, let's say my health variable. Okay, I'll go in a new line. Okay, add another insertion operator. I feel like, guys, I don't want to start restarting the stream just yet because, like, whatchamacallit, the stream just started. Honestly, yeah, let me just restart OBS. Already, mic testing, mic testing. Okay, guys, that should be perfect. I think this is gonna work for the stream for a bit. I'll go with a /new line ending with a semicolon. Next up, I gotta print the memory address of my health variable. So let's go with a standard character output with an insertion operator. Already, mic testing, mic testing. Why is the stream lagging, bro? Honestly, because I've been using the mini PC for so long, so probably the GPU can't handle my OBS with all the 50 different plugins. That said, I am actually looking for an actual new PC, and I almost found it. I just gotta make it, and then like I'll definitely record a video on me building that PC. That said, once I get the PC, the lag is probably gonna get solved. Yo, how you doing? I appreciate you joining the stream. What's up, baby? How you doing? Okay, let's see. Next up, I want the memory address of my health variable, so I'll go with health. So the address of operator, my health variable, and then I'll go in a new line. Honestly, I might not need this part. There we go. I'll add another insertion operator of a /new line ending with a semicolon. And then I gotta print the value of my address. So I could go with a standard console output. Okay, so I'll go with a standard character output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something. Let's say I want to insert the value of my health variable. Honestly, instead of going with this value of my health, I could go with the dereferencing operator of an asterisk. Although I do got it. Okay, this is going to be health pointer. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me go with a few bunch of control Z's. Health PDR. Alright, perfect. If I were to go ahead and return 0, why is there an asterisk before the health pointer? Honestly, because whatchamacallit, when there is an address of operator health, this gives me the memory address of my health variable, but the asterisk here, it's the dereferencing operator. It dereferences my health variable's memory address and actually gives me the value inside of it. Okay, so if I were to return 0, okay, and add an exclamation, return 0. Okay, perfect. If I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, you're from which country? Honestly, some of you guys, like most of you guys did say me, now you keep saying which country I'm from. I used to say before a lot that like I'm from the United States, although I should try avoid saying that. Okay, so value of health is okay, so that's my value of health. I should go with a dereferencing operator of an asterisk. Okay, and maybe I'll add another insertion operator of an empty space. And I'll do the same thing here as well. Okay, there we go. I'll go with an empty space here as well. Okay, now if I hit Control S to save the code, although let me just delete one of those. Okay, if I hit Control S and run the command, there we go. It says value of health is 100, memory address is this. Okay, perfect. I could honestly go with like a colon for it to look much better. Okay, and that's my health pointer. I could remove this. Yeah, it's not good to say in this case. You want people know where you live. Honestly, yeah, that's the reason I'm like kind of stopped saying it. That said, guys, the stream lags way too much these days. Can't wait to get the PC. Okay, let's see. Okay, it should say that my health is 100. Guys, I don't got all day. Okay, let's see. I don't know. Already, mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me actually go with a Control A, Control C copy. There's good sensei / ChatGPT here. Okay, there we go. Maybe just extend it a little from here. Let me go ahead and paste this. Hit enter. Okay. You're so close, my people. Very close. But you skip one step in mastery. You're printing the dereferenced value and the address of health, but you forgot to show the raw pointer itself, the value stored inside the health PDR. Okay, let's break this down clearly. Health, the actual integer value 100. the address of operator health, the address where the health lives, health PDR, the pointer variable that stores the address, health PDR, the value at the address 100. Right now you're showing health PDR and health, which are effectively the same value from two perspectives, but you didn't show health or health PDR, okay? To master this output, you should include all four, okay, the plain health and health. Okay, I see, so I gotta go with like all four. Okay, I could do that. Okay, let me get Sensei/ChatGPT here. I think the lag could be because of slow Wi-Fi. Honestly, many people did say me it could be because of slow Wi-Fi. Honestly, I feel like it's not because of my Wi-Fi, because I did do like a Wi-Fi test, and this was like the stuff. Because like my internet speed is like my download speed is 594 Mbps and my upload speed is like 608. That said, my OBS does crash, so I think it is my CPU. Okay, so let's fix it. So before I return 0, let me go ahead and add another standard character output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like, let's go with my health PDR. So I'll go with my raw health pointer with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. And then let's go with another standard character output with an insertion operator. This is going to be my raw health variable with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. Okay, now if I hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command, let's see. Okay, value of health address, this is the memory address, that's the value. Okay, perfect. Let's go with the Control C, copy that, get Sensei/ChatGPT here again. Okay, and then maybe extend that. There we go. Okay, if I were to go ahead and paste this, let's see. Good, that's how it's done, people. You just display the power of pointers effectively. Let's dissect this like a true warrior of logic. Health is your variable. It holds the value 100. The address of health is the address, the memory location where the health lives. Health PDR stores the address, a pointer, and the referencing operator health PDR gives you the value at that address, the same as health. Okay, I think I see. So your output tells you the value inside health is 100, the address of health is a hex number. Okay, the pointer itself, which stores that same address, the direct variable value. You've officially grasped the core concepts of pointers, the part that terrifies most beginners. I'm impressed, but don't relax yet. Steel will never become a sword without being burnt or beaten. Ready to face the next broken code challenge? Let me say something like, I honestly don't want a broken code. Instead, can I get a instructional based question mark? Honestly, I do prefer instructional based questions. Huh. Okay, so you seek direct combat instead of training with weights. Huh, very well, pupil. If you wish for instructional combat, then I'll make you write the code from pure logic. Here's your task. Instructional question number 1, create a program that does the following. Declare an integer variable named mana and set it to 250. Honestly, I'm so tired. Like last year also, I was just going with like variables called mana. I should like ask a quick change. That said, create a pointer called mana PDR that stores the address of mana. Okay, that stores the address. Okay, the value of mana. Print the value of mana, the address of mana, the value of mana PDR, the value of mana pointer. Okay, let me go ahead and get Sensei/ChatGPT here. Okay, let me go ahead and hit Control and delete everything. I'll start off by including a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream. Next up, let me go ahead and typecast my main function to be an integer. So I'll go with integer main, a pair of parentheses, actually a pair of curly braces. And now it says declare an integer variable called mana and set it to 250. So I could go with something like integer mana, which equals to 250. I'll end that with a semicolon and then create a pointer named mana PDR that stores the address of mana. So I could go with an integer variable called mana PDR, which equals to the address of operator, which is an and sign, my mana variable, ending with a semicolon. And then I gotta print the value, the address, the value of mana PDR, and the value of mana PDR points to. Okay. Honestly, I gotta add an asterisk here. There we go. Okay, so now I could go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like the value of mana. So I could go with something like the value of mana. There we go. And then I'll go in a new line, add another insertion operator. I want to insert my mana variable with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. That said, howdy KVCUX or KV Cooks, I appreciate you joining the stream. You need a asterisk? Honestly, I should pay more attention on adding asterisks. Asterisk. Next up, I gotta print the address of my mana. So let's go with a standard character output with an insertion operator. I want to insert the address. So I'll go with something like the address of mana. Okay, and then I'll go in a new line, add another insertion operator. To print the address, I'll go with the address of operator and my mana variable with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. Next up, the value of my mana PDR variable, then the value that mana PDR points to. So I could go with something like standard character output with an insertion operator. This is going to be the value of my mana PDR variable. Okay, and then I'll go in a new line, add an insertion operator. This is going to be, this is just going to be my mana PDR variable. Okay, I'll go with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. And lastly, let's actually show which the mana PDR variable points to. So I could go with a standard character output with an insertion operator. I'll add like 2 colons here. Okay, that said, this is going to be the value that mana PDR points towards. There we go. Okay, and then I'll go in a new line, add an insertion operator. I want to insert an asterisk, so I'll add a dereferencing operator of my mana PDR variable with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. That said, lastly, let me go ahead and return 0. Hey man, keep the good work up. I appreciate you. Wish was. Okay, guys, I'm a little stuck on Python. Hello. Howdy, Shelb. Honestly, I feel like I'm pretty good at Python. I might be able to help you. That said, let me go with Ctrl S to save the code and run the command. The value of mana 20, the memory address of mana is that. The value of mana PDR, the address. Okay, perfect. Let me go with the Ctrl A, Ctrl C, copy that. And honestly, I might start going with harder questions because this actually I feel like I pretty much got this. Let me go with a Ctrl V, maybe a bunch of spaces, and say something like, so let's say, I feel like I understood these basics. Maybe can we do something a bit harder that includes if/else question mark. Bro, use namespace std please. Honestly, the reason I don't use namespace std is because some of you guys did say that it is like bad practice to use it because in like bigger projects it could cause name conflicts when we use different libraries. That said, oh, so the pupil thinks he's ready to wield a sharper blade, huh? Good, I like that fire. Don't you dare let it die. Now we'll combine pointers with if/else logic. Let's see if you can think like a warrior programmer. Combine sharp syntax. Instructional challenge number 2, the potion test. Write a program that declares an integer called variable. Okay, that declares an integer variable called potion count. Declares a pointer PDR that stores the address of the potion count, asks the user to enter the number of potions they currently have using if/else print your well-stocked if potion is either greater than or equal to 10, you're running low if potions are between 5 and 9, you're out of potions if potions is less than 5. The pointer to access the values, use the pointer to access the values when comparing and printing, not the variable directly. Okay, let's see if you can manipulate variables through the pointer alone. Okay, let me get sensei/ChatGPT here. Okay, perfect. Let me start off by going with Control A, deleting everything. Okay, next up, let me start off by including a pair of anchor braces. I want to include IO stream. Okay. Next up, let me go ahead and typecast my main function to be an integer. So I'll go with integer main, add a pair of curly braces. Okay, so firstly it says declare an integer variable called pointer count. So I could go with something like integer pointer count. There we go. Okay, I'm not going to set this to anything because this is what the user is going to input. Okay, declare a pointer PTR to store that address of pointer count. So firstly, I gotta ask the user to enter the number of portions they currently have. So let's go with a standard character output with an insertion operator. I'll insert something like enter the number of portions they currently have. The number, I could go with a hashtag, enter the number of potions you currently have. There we go. And then I'll go in a new line. Actually, I'll end that with a semicolon. And then let me go ahead and add a standard character input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my pointer count variable ending with a semicolon. And then declare a potion PTR that stores the address of my pointer count variable. So I could go with an integer, a dereferencing operator of, let's say, potion PTR. So I could go with something like potion pointer, okay, which is going to be equal to the address of operator, which is an ant of my pointer count variable. Okay, perfect. I'll end that with a semicolon. Next up, using if/else print your well stocked if potion is greater than or equal to 10. So I could go with an if statement here. I'll go with if, a pair of parentheses. I'll do something, let's see. So if my potions is greater than or equal to 10, which is my potion counter, so I could go with something like, wait, this should be called potion counter and not pointer counter. So I'll go with potion. There we go. Let me go ahead and copy that, paste it here, and paste it here. Okay, and also paste this here. So if my potion count is either greater than or equal to 10, I'm going to do something. I'll go with a pair of curly braces and then add a standard character output with an insertion operator. I'll insert something like you're well stocked. So I'll go with something like you're well stocked exclamation. And then I'll go with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. That said, now I'll go with an else if that says you're running low if my potions are between 5 and 9. So let's go ahead and add a else if. So I'll go with else if a pair of parentheses. So if my potion count variable is either, let's see, if it's greater than 5 and less than 9. So if my potion count is either greater than 5, or I'll add a pole sign, actually, and okay, so if my potion count is greater than 5 and my potion count, okay, is less than or equal to 9, I'm gonna do something between 5 and 9. So it's greater than, so it needs to be more than 5, and my potion count needs to be more than 5 and less than or equal to 9. Okay, I think this is perfect. I'll go with a pair of curly braces and then add a standard character output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like you're running low. So I'll go with you're running low. This is going to be inside of a pair of double quotes. So I'll go with you're running low ... ending with a / new line and a semicolon. Lastly, I'll go with an else clause. You're out of potion. Okay, you're out of potion if my potion is less than 5. Okay, I think I would need another else if for that. So I'll go with else if a pair of parentheses. I'll go with something if my potion count variable is less than 5. I'll say something like you're out of potions. I'll go with a pair of curly braces and then add a standard character output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like you're out of potions exclamation with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. Use the pointer to access the value when comparing and printing, not the variable directly. Oh, I gotta use the pointer to access values when comparing. Okay, I've been using the actual variable. I gotta use the pointers. So I could replace all of them with my asterisk potion PTR. We paste that. Okay, perfect. Next up, let me go ahead and return 0, ending with a semicolon. If I hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command, let's see. So it says enter the number of potions you currently have. I'll go with something like 3. You're out of potions. If I were to run the command again and go with something between 5 to 9, I'll go with something like 8. You're running low. Lastly, if I go with something like 15. Okay, you're well stocked. Perfect. Let me go with the Control-C, copy that, get some C/ChatGPT here. Okay. Guys, I always need like extend. Is there an easier way to do that? Okay, let me paste that. Okay, while Sensei's thinking, let me hydrate my lips. Okay, I see what you did there, people. You're almost perfect, but there's a tiny logic flaw that will bite you. Else if asterisk potion PDR is greater than and you used a single and which is a bitwise and not a logical. Oh, I see. Okay, we needed to use 2 and I forgot about that. Okay, in conditions you must use 2 ands for logic and okay, else if also your last else if potion is less than 5 is correct, but technically the final catch could catch anything between below 5, so you could simply just use else. Okay, other than that, pupil, your pointer usage is flawless. Oh, okay. All comparisons, fixed single and okay, I think I see. Code in Java, dude. Honestly, I do want to eventually learn Java. It would be better to learn Rust than CPP in 2025. Honestly, I should actually try learning Rust as well. That said, let me go ahead and fix that by adding 2 ands. Honestly, I did know that I need 2 ands. For some reason, I didn't do it. Okay, let me copy that, get some C/ChatGPT here, paste it. Okay, perfect. Okay, excellent, people. Look at that pointer mastery combat with flawless logic. With conditional logic, you fix the logic and perfectly, and every comparison goes through potion PDR. This is exactly how a warrior programmer manipulates memory while making decisions. The only tiny thing left is adding else. Okay, I mean, that's fine. The next challenge awaits. We'll combine 2 stats, health and mana, let them decrease. Okay, let them increase or decrease potions with the full else if logic. Okay, do you want me to force the ultimate pointer challenge? Let me say yes, let's say it's utilized completely. Oh, I see. Honestly, eventually I might actually learn Rust as well. Where are you from, bro? Honestly, I just said that like 20 minutes ago. Although many people did say me to not say where I'm from, so I don't like dox myself or something. That said, that's the part I want to see, people. Prepare yourself. The next drill will test everything: pointers, user input, conditional logic, and memory manipulation. Instructional challenge: battle stats update 2.0. In the main function, declare 2 integer variables called health and mana. Write a function called update battle stats that takes the pointer to health and mana. Okay, integer pointer. Okay, so now I gotta add functions that has these parameters to it. Ask the user to enter how much health to change, can be positive or negative. Ask the user to enter how much mana to change, can be positive or negative. Updates these stats using the referencing. After updating, the function should check conditions using if/else/else clause. Okay, if this is the conditions for my health, that's for my mana. Inside my main function, print these stats before calling the function. Call update battle stats, passing the address of health and mana. Print the stats after calling the function. Okay, this will test pointer dereferencing, conditional logic, memory update directly through pointers, handling positive and negative. Like tell me the continent only. Honestly, I could say like I'm in the United States, but like I try to avoid saying that. That said, were you practicing today? Honestly, last stream I went through pointers, but I couldn't complete the whole thing because I did have some college assignments. That said, I am going with pointers this stream as well. Next stream I might move on. Bro, you know reading doesn't make any sense. You need to learn what you do. Honestly, I actually learned by doing stuff. I mean by reading and then doing. And is bitwise and you need 2 ands. Oh, I see. Okay, let me start off by deleting the whole code. Okay, and then including a pair of anchor braces and then IO stream. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and typecast my main function to be an integer. So I'll go with integer main, a pair of curly braces. Okay, and then let's read the instructions. So firstly, in my main function, I declare two variables called integer and health, which is set to 150. So I could go with something like integer of health and mana. My health is going to be 100, okay, and my mana is going to be 50. I'll end that with a semicolon. And then I gotta write a function called update battle stats. So I could create a function. Honestly, I'll go under my main function. There we go. Let me go ahead and create a function. Wait, I thought that we could like create variables like this. I should do it like this back when I used to learn Python. I think we can't. Okay, let's go with integer mana, which equals to 50. In modern C++, you can simply use AND instead of AND. Wait, can we use the AND? I thought that we couldn't use the AND logical operator. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and create a void function called update battle stats. So I'll go with something like update battle stats. And the reason I am using a void function instead of like an integer function is because I don't want this function to return anything. Okay, this function will be having two parameters. The first parameter is going to be an integer of my dereferenced health variable. The second function is going to be an integer as well of my dereferenced mana variable. There we go. Ending with a semicolon. Actually, ending with a pair of curly braces. Okay, that's good, but the thing, you need to learn basic stuff like operators and puzzles common in most languages. Honestly, I do know the operators. I just forgot because like I actually haven't been using operators that much because I've been practicing different topics like functions, but I should actually work more with operators. I do know like the OR operator is like the pipeline, the AND operator is this, and like there is a NOT operator which is like exclamation. Okay, that said, okay, next up, takes pointer to health and mana, asks the user to enter how much health to change. So I could create a variable, something like integer change health. Okay, I'll end that with a semicolon. And then let me go ahead and add a standard character output with an insertion operator. Hi bro, what's up? How doing, Bhanu? I appreciate you joining this stream. Did I pronounce your name correctly though? Guys, I feel a little weird when I pronounce you guys' names wrong. Nice bro, best of luck. I appreciate you, Weedent. Is that how I pronounce the name? Guys, I should like work more on my spellings. That said, I'll go with something like ask the user how much health to change. So I'll go with something like how much health do you want to change? Question mark. Okay, I'll end that with a semicolon, and then in a new line, I'll go with a standard character input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my change health variable, ending with a semicolon. Next up, ask the user to enter how much mana to change can be positive or negative. So let's go with another variable. I could honestly create it right here, so I'll go with something like change mana. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me go ahead and add a standard console, actually a standard character output with an insertion operator. I'll say something like how much mana to change? Question mark. Okay, I could just go with 2, how much health to change, how much mana to change. I'll end that with a semicolon, and then let's go ahead and add a standard character input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my change mana variable. There we go, ending with a semicolon. And then let's see, update these stats using dereferencing. So I gotta update my stats using the dereferencing operator. Okay, that's the extraction. Honestly, these are my health variables. So should I add my parameters? Okay, honestly, no, I don't gotta add my parameters here. Update these stats using the dereferencing operator. So I could do something like, let's say my change health variable, so I'll go with change health variable. I'll increase that by, let's say, my asterisk health parameter, ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. I'll do the same thing with my change mana variable. I'll increase that by my dereferencing operator of my mana variable, ending with a semicolon. If you know the basics, you should move on to object-oriented programming and focus on solid principles initially. Honestly, I'm definitely going to do that, but before that, I do want to work with structures and like these some more basics, because I do have like a, a roadmap for C++. In that, I have like all the topics. So today, before yesterday, I had to go over functions. Yesterday, I had to go over pointers. But since I wasn't done with pointers, today I'm going over pointers as well. That said, after updating the function, should check conditions. Okay, now let me go ahead and check a few conditions. So, if my health variable is either greater than 100, I set my health, okay, set health to 100 and print health is full. So let's go with an if statement. So if, a pair of parentheses, if my health variable, so I'll go with something like, okay, that is change health. Okay, honestly, I think I should increase my health variable by my change health variable. I think that would make more sense than this. So I could go with health. Okay, let's go with something like health plus equals to my change health variable. Okay, and it'll do the same thing with my mana. So mana plus equals to change mana variable. There we go. Okay, so if my health variable, so if my dereferencing operator of my health parameter is either greater than 100, I'm gonna do something. I'll go with a pair of curly braces and then add a standard character output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like your health is full. Okay, your health is full exclamation. And then I gotta reset my health variable to be equal to 100. Honestly, I could go in a new line and add another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and set my health parameters. So I'll go with health, okay, to be equal to 100. Alrighty, mic testing, mic testing. Guys, my OBS just crashed. Okay, honestly, I feel like OBS crashing is much better than the stream lagging. That said, the second condition says if my health is either less than or equal to 0, I set my health to be equal to 0 and print you died. So I'll go with an else if. I'll go with an else if, a pair of parentheses. I'll go with something like if my health parameter, so asterisk health, is either less than or equal to 0. I'll go with a pair of curly braces. Hey, howdy, Shoaib, is that your pronouncer name? I appreciate you joining the stream. I'll go with a standard character output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like, let's say, you died. So I'll go with something like, you died, exclamation, with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. And then let me set my health parameters. So the dereferencing operator of my health variable, or my health parameter, I'll set that equal to exactly 0. Okay, and then if my health is less than 30, I print health critically low. Okay, so let's go with something like another else if. So else if, a pair of parentheses, if my health parameter is less than 30, I'll go with a pair of curly braces and then add a standard console output with an insertion operator. Actually, standard character output with an insertion operator. I'll say something like, what are you making? Honestly, I'm just learning the basics of pointers and understanding pointers. That said, I am working on like a battle update stats where the player can insert a console input or like a character input and like increases health, increases mana. That said, there's also XOR. I see. Honestly, I've never heard of that. I should actually look into that. Let me say something like health. Okay, health is critically low exclamation with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. Lastly, I'll go with an else clause, else a pair of curly braces. I'm going to print health updated. So let's go with a standard character output with an insertion operator. Howdy King, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, standard character output that says something like health updated. Okay, perfect. Exclamation with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. That said, I gotta add the same conditions for my mana as well. Change health describes an action / function, but you're using a temporary variable. I'd advise you to name it something like mana to add or something similar. It might be confusing later on. Honestly, yeah, I'm actually kind of bad with like naming variables right now. Although I just name it like for the practice. Eventually, I am gonna like name it like something good. That said, I'll go with an if statement. If my okay, so if my mana's parameter let's say is greater than 50, I print mana is full and set my mana parameter to be exactly 50. So if it's greater than 50, I'll do something. I'll go with a pair of curly braces and then add a standard character output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like mana is full exclamation. Howdy BMG, I appreciate you joining this stream. There we go. I'll go with an exclamation with an insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. And then let's see, let me go ahead and set my mana parameter to be equal to exactly 50 ending with a semicolon. Why are you gay? Honestly guys, I'm not gay. Like some of you guys did say like my voice sounds zesty. I'm like, I don't know what you guys mean. Okay. Alright, so next up I'll go with an else if. Okay, let's see. Else if my mana parameter is less than 0, I'm gonna set it to be 0, okay, and add a character output that says out of mana. Okay, let's see. I could go with something like if my mana parameter is less than 0, I'll do something. I'll go with a pair of curly braces and then add a standard standard character output with an insertion operator that says something like out of mana. Guys, did my stream start lagging again? Out of mana. Exclamation. Okay, and then I'll go with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. Guys, should I like restart my OBS? Okay, I think it's going a bit good for now. Actually, I think I should restart my OBS. Already mic testing. Guys, my OBS did crash a little. You can use standard print instead of, let's see, instead of standard character output in modern CPP. It's also faster and better to have type safety inbuilt. Honestly, I'll set ChatGPT about that as soon as I'm done with this. Okay, and then I'll set my mana to be equal to exactly 0. Okay, that said, if my mana is less than 10, I print mana is critically low. So let's go with an else if, a pair of parentheses. I'll go with something like if my mana parameter is either less than 10 till less than 10, I'll go with a pair of curly braces and do something. I'll go with a standard. Honestly, can I use print? I say print F. Is that the same as print? Okay, so I'll go with a standard character output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like mana is critically low. Mana is critically low exclamation with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. That said, lastly, I'll go with an else clause. So else a pair of curly braces. I'll add a standard character output with an insertion operator. I'll say something like mana updated. Exclamation. Okay, with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. Lastly, inside our main function, print stats before calling the function. Okay, so inside my main function, I gotta print my stats before I invoke my update battle stats function. So I could go with a standard console output, actually standard character output with an insertion operator. That's gonna say something like stats before updates. Okay, stats before updates. Okay, I'll actually end that with a semicolon. Next up, honestly, instead of going with a semicolon, I could go in a new line, add an insertion operator. This is gonna be my health variable with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. I'll do the same for my mana, so I'll go with a standard. Okay, let's see. So a standard character output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like stats before updates. I could go with something like health stats. So I'll go with something like health stats. There we go. And maybe I'll get a lowercase the s. This is going to be mana stats. Okay, perfect. And then I'll go in a new line, add an insertion operator of my mana variable. Okay, with another insertion operator of a / new line. There we go. And honestly, I will set this equal to 0 for the time being. Okay, perfect. And then I gotta invoke my update battle stats function, passing the address of health and mana. Okay, print stats after calling the function. Okay, so before I could invoke my update battle stats function, I would have to declare it. So let me go ahead and copy that. Okay, and then go all the way up above my main function and paste it here, ending with a semicolon. Okay, now inside my main function, I could actually invoke my update battle stats function. So I'll go with update battle stats with a pair of parentheses. And now I gotta add these two parameters of my health and mana. But I gotta give the address operator, the address of my variables. So let's go with the address of operator. This is gonna be my health variable. Okay, and then I'll go with the address of operator for my mana variable, ending with a semicolon. And then I gotta print these all over again. These are the updated stats. So let me go ahead and paste that. Okay, and stats after update. I'll change before to after. Before to after. Okay, perfect. That's honestly pretty much it. Let me go ahead and return 0. There we go. Let me go ahead and return 0, ending with a semicolon. Yo, I'm back. How you doing? BXTCH. If I did Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see. So it says health before updates, health after updates, which is set to 100. I want to change my health to be something like 50, mana to be something like, I don't know, 25. Health is updated, mana is updated, health after update, mana after update. Okay, perfect. Let me go with the Control A, Control C, copy that, get Sensei slash ChatGPT here. Okay. Maybe extend that. Okay, let me go ahead and paste that. What if you call the function with a null PTR as an argument? It will crash. Honestly, I've never heard of the null PTR. I might ask Sensei. Okay, yes, people, look at this. This is a masterful pointer and conditional logic control. You've done everything. Pass pointers to the function, use the referencing to update stats, check all conditions, and capping values where necessary, printing feedback messages based on the updated memory. A few small how do you pronounce this? Refinements. A few small refinements to sharpen the blade even more. Typos in words. Okay, guys, I get like a lot of typos. Stylistic. You could combine less than 0 and less than 10 logic for mana slash health if you want more concise code, but your current structure is perfect. It's perfectly fine for clarity. Other than that, people, this is the battle ready, easy pointer, dereferencing, and conditional flow exactly as it should be. Think, you could extend this to multiple players or enemies, store stats in arrays, and manipulate them through pointers. That's where real game engines live. Do you want me to forge the next challenge with arrays plus pointers plus dynamic memory next? Honestly, yes. Okay, ask ChatGPT about std print. Okay, let me say, yes, Sensei, exclamation. That said, before we do that question, someone from my chat asked me to ask you about the std print function. What does it do, question mark? And someone also asked me to, actually, someone also asked me about okay, let's see, about the null PTR, the null pointer. What does that do as well, question mark? Okay, let's see. The stream's sharp today, people. Let's break these down. Standard print, strict question alert. There is no PTR in standard C++. Okay, there's no standard print in standard C++. Okay, excuse me guys, at least until C++23 adds standard print in very new standards, but it's not widely used yet. In normal C++, pre-C++23, you use standard character output to print the console, include IO stream, okay, prints text to the console. Standard, wait, hold up, somebody said me last stream that this is called character output and not console output, the console output stream. Okay, null PTR. Null PTR is a special keyword representing a pointer that points to nothing. So integer PTR equals to none PTR. This pointer currently points to no memory. Okay, I see. Safer than that, or safer than using 0 or null, old C++ style. You can check if a pointer is valid before using it. Okay, so if pointer is not equal to null pointer, I dereference my pointer, which equals to 0, save the reference. Okay. Okay, people, understanding these will save you from segmentation faults and runtime errors. Okay, that said, let me say something like, I see let's say dot dot dot. That said, I had one more question. Someone from my stream said that C out means character output dot dot dot. Although I thought that it means console output. Okay, let's see. Bro, I'm confused that in my college C language, so I could learn C++ after C language. Honestly, wait, I feel like I read that wrong. Bro, I'm confused that in my college C language starts, so I can learn C++ after C language, or should I skip C and learn C++? Honestly, I haven't learned C yet. I just jumped from I think like C++ is my second language and it feels relatively easier. So I would like recommend starting with C++. That's it. You could like do some research and ask someone with more experience, because I just have experience with like Python and now C++. That said, better C first, skip C Rust. Huh, okay. Haha, your stream is full of brave warriors, pupil, but this one needs clarification. Standard console output does not literally mean character output, guys. I got the wrong information yesterday. In the sense of a single character, it stands for console output. Okay, now I should like whatchamacallit, get my muscle memory back for saying standard console output. Go for C++, skip C, you'll be writing C and C++. Oh, I see. So technically it is a stream that outputs character, but in practice you can send anything to standard console output. Integers, doubles, string, booleans, pointers, it prints them to the console in a human readable format. Think of it like this. Standard console output is a magical tube. You can throw many types of objects into it and they come out printed to your console. Okay, so your instincts is right. It's for console output, not single character. People, now that we've slain these questions, I can foresee next battle with arrays plus pointers plus dynamic memory, where null pointer will be a critical weapon. Okay, let me say something like, let's say, I'm ready, exclamation, although I didn't wanna learn the null PDR just yet. Okay, let's see. I see, people. You want to stay in the shadows? You want to stay in the shallow water before diving into the deep memory ocean? Very well, we'll forge a challenge with arrays plus pointers, no null PDR needed. Yet you'll still manipulate memory, practice dereferencing, and combine what you've learned. So the instructional question is portion array control. In our main function, we declare an array of integers called portions with 5 elements representing the number of portions each warrior has. Initialize it with some value, example 2, 5, 0, 10, 7. Create a pointer. Okay, create a pointer that points to the first element of the array. Using the pointer, do the following without using the array variable directly. Okay, print all portion counts, increase the first portion count by 3, decrease the last portion count by 2. After updating, print all the portion counts again using only the pointer. This will make you practice pointer arithmetic with arrays, access and update memory directly through pointers, combine loop pointers and array logic. Okay, bro, please give me the advice. What should I do in first year in my college? Some students also doing hackathon. Okay, let's see. Okay, bro, classes just started 20 days ago. How can it be possible? So stick with standard. Console output is perfectly fine right now. Standard print when you know more. Honestly, yeah. And honestly, I would like recommend if you want to go with if you want to actually work with like game development, I would actually software development, I would recommend C++. In the other hand, if you want to like work with AI engineering or machine learning, you could go with Python. It depends on what you actually want to do. That said, let's go ahead and include a pair of anchored braces. I want to include IO stream. And then let's see, I could like typecast my main function to be an integer, so I'll go with integer main, add a pair of curly braces. Okay, and then a bunch of spaces. Alright, let's see. So, instructional challenge portion array. In our main function, we declare an array of integers called portions with 5 elements. So I could go with something like integer portions with a pair of square brackets. This is going to be consisting of 5 elements. I'll set that equal to a pair of curly braces and add those 5 elements. So the 5 elements representing numbers of portions each warrior has, initialize it with values, example 2, 5, 0, 10, 7. So I could go with something like 2, 5, 0, 10, and 7. Okay, perfect. And then I'm pretty sure I should end it with a semicolon. Alright, next up, create a pointer that points to the first element of the array. So I gotta create a pointer. Wait, in that case, would I need to use a for loop to iterate over my array? Okay, so create a pointer that points to the first element of the array. Using that pointer, do the following without using array variables directly. Okay, so I could go with something like integer asterisk of, let's say, first element or first pot. Okay, this is going to be at index of 0. Honestly, could I go with my potions array at index of 0 with the dereferencing operator? Okay, ending with a semicolon. Is that how we do it? Bro, which area to choose in computer science, like cloud computing versus AI machine learning versus data science versus software versus game dev versus app dev versus website dev, etc. Honestly, I feel like it depends on the person. You should like explore different categories, different like branches, and which you enjoy. Like you should go with the stuff that you enjoy the most, because I could tell programming would be really hard if like you didn't enjoy it. That said, if you want to go in development, learn C++ and Rust. If you want to go in embedded systems, then go for C and C++. Learn C harsh if you want to do all that. Okay, let's see. I do have a question. I think we do it like this. So write the pointer to do the following without using the array variables. Print all potions. Okay. I have a question. Let me actually go with the Control C, copy this. Okay, and then get sensei slash ChatGPT here. Okay, let me get sensei here. Paste it, go with shift enter and say sensei dot. I actually forgot if I should have used a, let's say, a for loop to get access to the first element question mark. C harsh or C hashtag is pronounced as C sharp. I thought like someone, I'm pretty sure someone in the chat did say it's pronounced as C harsh. That's why I went C harsh. Okay, I think it's C sharp. Okay, haha people, I see the confusion trying to creep in. Look carefully at what she wrote. So the dereferencing operator of my potions at index of 0, this is not what we want. You've actually declared an array of pointers of size 0 that's not pointing to your potion array at all. Here's the corrected version. Okay, so PDR pointer to the first element of the array. You don't need a loop to get the first element, the name of the array. So potions already decays to a pointer to the first element. So now pointer or like PDR points to potions at index of 0. Oh, I see. Okay, so PDR plus 0, PDR plus 1. Okay, so when I go with the asterisk of PDR, should I add a pair of parentheses and then do the pluses? Okay, plus I is equivalent to potion at index of I. Okay, so for the plus I should go with a for loop. Pointer arithmetic moves through the array in memory. If you want people, I can rewrite the full battle ready pointer code. Okay, honestly, I think I kind of get it. Okay, let me get some slash ChatGPT there. Okay, bro, I has no interest in nothing. I'm from no college to support. Okay, I wanted to make money. Tell me which area of computer science to choose. Honestly, if you do want to actually go with something, I would actually recommend, I mean, I don't want to recommend anything because I don't know if you would actually enjoy it. That's it. If you do want to go with something, guys, I don't know if I want to recommend it. Okay, the stuff that I was actually choosing from was either being an AI engineer or a cybersecurity. Like, I heard the cybersecurity has a lot of jobs and everyone always like needs cybersecurity jobs because like always there are cyber attacks. That said, that is what I was actually choosing for. You guys could like do some research. Right now, Gen AI and genetic AI is giving most money. So if you're good with math, go with games and machine learning and data science. If you're not, go with software development. Honestly, I do want to be an AI engineer. Okay, let's see. So this next step is create a pointer that points to the first element of the array. So I'll go with something like integer of a dereferencing operator PDR, which equals to my potions. Okay, my potions is array. If I wanted to get the second element, I could go with a pair of parentheses of 0 plus 1. This is my my first index. Okay, can I do that? Should I just go with 0? Okay, maybe PDR plus 1. Okay, I should actually ask that part in that case. But first, let me read the next step. So, using the pointer, do the following. Print all portion counts, increase the first portion count by 3, decrease the last portion count by 2. After updating, print all portion counts again using only the pointer. Okay, so I gotta print my entire portion count here. Okay, so without using a for loop, I could go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. If you're good at math, I'm a developer, web-based development. It's the easiest to get in, and then you'll see the road that takes you. Bro, which has the most jobs? Honestly, I've heard that cybersecurity has a lot of jobs. That said, and if you're really good in math, you can go for HFTS. These are the highest paying ones. Ooh, I see. Okay, let's see. Practice more arithmetic. Okay, so integer pointers at index 0. Okay, it says PDR plus 1. So, let me actually get this whole thing in a pair of curly braces. Okay, I'll go with something like PDR plus 1. There we go, that works. It does not. Should I get my dereferencing operator outside? Okay, that doesn't work either. I should ask this part actually. Okay, so let me go with the Control-Shift-Z, then go with the Control-A, Control-C, copy that. Okay, get sensei/ChatGPT here again. Okay, and then paste this, go with Shift-Enter, and say something like, copy this part, paste it, Shift-Enter, and say, so let's say, I tried that PDR plus 1. It honestly doesn't work, question mark. Okay, let's see. I don't honestly want to go with caps. That said, I see the misled pupil. You wrote asterisk PDR which is at index of 0. That's not valid syntax. You can just write, okay, a dereferencing operator of my pointer plus 0 outside a proper standard console output statement. Here's how it should be. So that's my array. That points to the first element. Okay, so I do need a for loop. I knew that I needed a for loop. Okay, update. Okay, so PDR plus 0, first element plus 3, PDR plus 4, last element minus 2. Okay, I think I see. Although I did get like the complete code for this, so like I don't take credit for this question. And if along with development, you can also develop that equals more money. Oh, I see. Okay, so I created a pointer here. Next up, let me go with a for loop. Although before I go with a for loop, I did have to print before I updated my stuff. So I think I might need a for loop. So I'll go with for a pair of parentheses. Okay, let's see. So this is my first variable. I could go with a comment that says first element of my array. Okay, so that's the first element of my array. So let's go with something like for every integer of I which equals to 0. While my I is let's say less than 5, because my array size is 5, I'm going to increment my I by 1. And then I'll go with a pair of curly braces. Okay, next up, I'm going to be printing, let's say something like, these are going to be the stats before my update. So I could go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something. Okay, let me read the next instruction. So, let's see. Okay, still, let me scroll all the way up. Okay, so it says create a pointer, Using the pointer, do the following. Without using the array variable directly, print all portion counts. So I gotta print all my portion counts. Here's the thing, should I print it inside or outside my for loop? Maybe I should print it, let's see. Okay, honestly, let me go ahead and create an index variable. So I'll go with something like an integer of index, which asks ChatGPT about new and delete keywords to use pointers to their full potential. Honestly, I could ask it after this question. So I'll set my index variable to be equal to 0, and then I'll set my index variable to be equal to I. Okay, next up, let's see. So I could go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. This is gonna say something like, let's say array before updates. Okay, with like maybe 4 more hyphens, ending with a new line. Okay. Next up, let me go ahead and print my array. So I could go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert my potions as array, or I could go with my dereferencing operator of PDR, okay, at index of my index variable with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. Guys, I feel like I kind of messed up somewhere here. Okay, wouldn't this give me the memory address? I'm pretty sure it wouldn't. Okay, unless I do this. Okay, now, okay, since it is an array, I don't think I could do that in that case. Okay, so this is gonna be my console output. Okay, before, let me go ahead and copy this. Maybe paste it right here. And change this array updates after. Okay, array after updates. So I could copy this thing again and then paste it here. Okay, now let me go ahead and update my array and between them. Okay, if that made any sense, guys. Okay, let's see. So increase the first potion count by 3, decrease the last potion count by 2. So first I gotta increase my first potion count. So let's go with something like PDR. That's my first potion count. Okay. Or should I go with something like pair of parentheses, PDR, let's say plus 0. That's my first element. I'm going to increase it by 3. Huh. Did I mess something up here? In modern CPP, we don't use raw pointers. Instead, there are some smart pointers, std, unique, etc. Honestly, I eventually do want to go through those, but before I actually go to like using the advanced stuff, I do want to like learn the basic stuff, like doing the stuff mostly manually, so I have like a brief idea on how it works. That said, am I messing up somewhere here? I might look at the reference code. Okay, let me scroll all the way down. Okay, so apparently my asterisk needs to go outside. There we go. Okay, and then I'll go with an asterisk of my PDR plus, this is going to be my third element, so plus 2. Okay, this should be actually my fourth element. I'll subtract it by 2, ending with a semicolon. Raw pointers are only used for legacy codes. Honestly, I've never heard of legacy codes, but I should actually look into it. Okay, so I needed 2 for loops. I could do both the for loops using one. Okay, that's what I did. Okay, lastly, let me go ahead and return 0 ending with a semicolon. And for embedded programming, I see. In that case, I could actually say to like actually try using those functions. Okay, that's array before updates, array after updates. At index of index, doesn't my index keep changing because of my for loop? Wait, where's my for loop? Okay, my for loop is right here. Okay, in that case, let me go ahead and copy that. Delete this. Okay, and paste this here. So these are going to be the updates before I actually, before I added any changes to my array. There we go. Okay, and then after I added those updates, I got to add another for loop. So let me go ahead and copy that. Okay, and then maybe paste that right here. Okay, and then maybe delete a few spaces. Alright, perfect. Actually, I could like indent them. And let's go with arrays after. So this is going to be my array after updates. Learn about mem allocation with new and delete first. Honestly, I could actually do that. Okay, let me go ahead and delete all this. Alright, perfect. Now if I hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command. Okay, honestly, actually, I feel like I know where I messed up here. Let me go ahead and copy that, delete that. Okay, let me add that before my for loop, right here. Okay, and I'll do the same thing for my, array before any updates, right here. Okay, perfect. Now if I hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command, let's see. There we go. So these are my arrays before updates, and these are my arrays after updates. Okay, what did I do? Maybe I delete the whole thing. Guys, how do I get rid of this? Okay, was it like this before? Did I like mess something up? Okay, I'm pretty sure this wasn't here before. Okay, guys, what do I do to get rid of this? Okay, show errors, show warning, show info, show active files. Did I like press something? I think I'll check into that later. Scroll to previous command. Okay, honestly, I don't know what I just did. That cell, go with the Control-C, copy that, get sensei/ChatGPT here. Okay, let me go ahead and paste this. Okay, go with Shift-Enter and say something like, let's say, people from my chat were saying me to learn about the okay, so what do I have to learn about? The end keyword and the new and end keywords. Just so about the new and end keywords dot. Okay, let's see what they're about. I see the chat is trying to pull you into the deeper memory ocean, pupil. Alright, let's break new and delete down in the dynamic way. So integer help PDR, new integer allocates memory for every single integer, help sets its value. Bro, are you in college? Honestly, the reason I can't like stream for 6 hours like how I used to before is because I didn't start college, so there are like a lot of assignments and exams. That said, after my college is over, I actually might stream for longer again. New and delete, bro. Learn the new and new and delete. Okay, let me change that to delete. Okay, let's change this to delete. Okay, now if I were to send this. I see, people, your stream is wise and hungry. Yes, new and delete are the next swords you need to wield in C++. They let you control memory dynamically instead of relying on fixed size arrays like you just used. So new allocates memory on the heap at running time, returns a pointer to the memory, useful when you don't know the size ahead of time, okay? So integer pointer equals to new integer, allocate the size of my allocate a single integer, then I go with the dereferencing operator of a pointer variable. I set that equal to 42, assign values, standard console output, PDR, okay, or for any array. So integer array equals to new integer 5, allocate array of 5 for the integer of I which equals to 0 while my I is less than 5, I increment my I by 1. Okay, and then array at index of I equals to I asterisk 2, okay? And then delete, freeze memory allocated by new must be used to prevent memory leaks, delete PDR for a single integer, delete a pair of square brackets, array for an array. Think of it like this. Stack memory like your integer pointers at index of 5 disappear automatically when the function ends. Heap memory allocated with new sticks around until you explicitly delete it. Okay, people, mastering new and delete is like learning to summon and banish warriors at will, total control over memory. If you want, I can give you next question using pointers plus dynamic memory plus arrays so you can see new and delete in action. How many programming languages do you know? Honestly, I just know 2 programming languages for now, Python and C++. That's it. I do want to explore different programming languages and then stick to one that I enjoy the most. That said, now you can make a custom vector container since you know memory allocations and deallocations. Honestly, that does sound pretty fun. Let me say something like, let's say, that actually sounds fun. I can do that next stream. That said, this stream can we do the questions that we were already working on and also maybe add loops now, question mark. Okay, I do want to work with loops as well. I like that far new pupil. Yes, we've learned okay, excuse me guys. Yes, we've leveled up your current code pointer plus array mastery by adding loops so you don't have to rewrite repetitive code. This will make your potion array battle much more elegant and scalable. Here's your next instructional challenge for the stream. Pointer plus array plus loop challenge. Potion management 2.0. So we create a main function, declare an array of 5 integers. Okay, create a pointer to the first element. Honestly, I want to go with strings as well. I've been going with integers for so long. Okay, let me actually say that. Let me say something like, since say I actually want to work with strings as well. We've been doing questions that just includes integers. I want to work with other types as well, dot dot dot. Okay, I see people. You wanted me to extend the battlefield beyond just integers? Very wise. Let's bring strings to the mix. And we'll combine them with pointers, arrays, loops, and conditional logic. Here's your next instructional challenge. Pointer plus array plus loops plus string challenge. Portion names and counts. So inside our main function, we declare an array of integer for portions all the way from 0, okay, 7, an array of 5 string for potion names, health, mana, stamina, strength, and speed. Create pointers to the first element of each array, okay. Using a loop, print the name and count of each potion. Using pointer arithmetic, increase every potion count by 3 after updating. Print all potions and their new counts. Bonus, if a potion count exceeds 10, print max capacity reached next to the potion. If a potion count is 0, print out of stock. This will force you to manipulate both integers and strings with pointers. Use loops and pointer arithmetic, combine conditions and multiple data types. Okay, let me get some say/ChatGPT here. Make a Jack 2D array. You'll understand pointers a little better. Honestly, I've never heard of Jack 2D arrays, but I actually might try that. Before that, let me drink some water, guys. Kind of dehydrated. Okay, maybe even like hydrate my lips real quick. Okay, perfect. Let me start off by hitting Control A and deleting everything. And then let's include a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream. Next up, let's read the instructions. It says, in our main function, we declare an array of integers, okay, and an array of strings. So I could go with integer main, typecast my main function to be an integer, add a pair of curly braces. Excuse me, guys. And then I could go with something like integer of, let's say, potion count. So I could go with something like potion count with a pair of square brackets. This is going to contain, or this is going to consist of 5 elements. So let's go with 5. I'll set that equal to a pair of curly braces. Let's add a few elements to it. So I could go with something like 2, 5, 0, 10, 7. So I'll go with 2, 5, 0, 10, and 7. I'll end my array with a semicolon. Next up, let's create an array called of standard strings. So this array is only going to be consisting of strings. This is going to be called potion name. So I'll go with something like potion name. Okay, I'll add a square brackets. This array is going to be consisting of 5 elements as well. Then I'll set those 5 elements to be equal to a pair of curly braces. So I need health, mana, stamina, strength, and speed. So let's go with health. And then mana, stamina, okay, and then strength and speed. Strength, and lastly I'll go with speed. Okay, perfect. And then I'll end my array with a semicolon. Let's see, create pointers to the first element of each array. So I gotta create a pointer for of the first element of each array. So let me go ahead and let's say create a dereferencing operator. Okay, so this is going to be the pointer for each array. So I could go with count or pot count PDR. So potion counter pointer. This is going to be equal to, let's say my potion.counts is array. So I'll go with potion counts is array ending with a semicolon. Okay, isn't this how we do it? Okay, I need to add a data type. So I'll go with integer. Okay. I'll do the same thing for my standard string. So I'll go with standard string, which equals to, okay, standard string of, let's say, potion name pointer. So this is going to be my potion name PDR, which is equal to my potion name array. So I'll go with potion name. Okay, perfect. I'll end that with a semicolon. Next up, using a loop, print the name and count of each potion. Okay, name and count of each potion using pointer. Okay, using pointer arithmetic, increase every potion count by 3. So every single potion count by 3. After updating, print all potion and their new counts. Okay. Alright, next up, let's see. So this is going to be std for standard string. So let me go ahead and add a for loop. So I'll go with for a pair of parentheses. Let's see. Okay, this is a standard string. Did I mess something up here? Okay, I'm pretty sure I got added dereferencing operator. Did I spell something wrong? Oh, this should be standard. There we go. Standard string of a dereferencing operator, my pointer name. Okay, next up, let's see. Using a loop, print the name and count of each potion. Yeah, so I'll go with, let's say for every integer of I which equals to 0, while my I variable is less than 10, I'm going to do something. I'll increment my I by 1, and then I'll go with a row of curly braces and do something. So, using a loop, print the name and count of each variable. I think since I want to print the name and count of each variable, I actually might need a, a nested for loop. So I could go with a nested for loop. Let's go with for every integer of j which equals to 0, while my j variable is less than, wait, instead of going with 10, I should go with 5 because my element is 5. If it's less than 5, I'm going to increment my j by 1. Okay. Dude, how do you get a live server for output? How do you get live server for output? Okay, can you do Java video next? Honestly, after my programming for 250 series, I actually might learn Java as well because I did want to actually learn JavaScript. That said, how do I get live server for output? Honestly, I don't think I know what that means. Okay, let's see. For every integer j which equals to 0, while my j is less than 5, I do that. Okay, so now I print the name and count of each potion. Okay, here's the thing. Do I need a nested for loop here? I can access both my name and count using just my regular for loop. I actually don't think I might need a nested for loop. Okay, so I could do something like a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like, which one do you use? Honestly, I feel like I think I'm lost, guys. Yeah, it's a plugin inside VS Code. Are you guys talking about the run coder or the run code plugin? I actually did install this. Should be just called live server. Guys, I'm kind of lost. That said, let me go ahead and say something like using a loop, print the name and count of each potion. So I'll go with my name first. Name with an insertion operator. This is gonna be, let's say my dereferencing operator of my pot counter variable. Okay, so this is my potion counter variable. Dereferencing operator at index of I. Okay, should I go without the dereferencing operator? Isn't that valid to use? Can't I use my integer potion counter here? That's my name, pot counter. Okay. With an insertion operator. Why would you need a live server for C++? Is probably just a console app. I think it is a console app. Okay, let's see. Honestly, can't I use this variable here? In that case, I could just go with my array, although this is the first element of my array. Oh, I think that's the reason. Since this is my first element of the array, I can actually set that equal to the index of I, because my index of I does keep changing. So I could go with something like my potion count array at index of I. Okay, perfect. That's my name. I'll go in a new line, add another insertion operator. This time I'll go with a quantity. So let me go with something like quantity. Okay, with another insertion operator, this is going to be my potion. Actually, the count, this is going to be my potion count at index of I. This is going to be my potion name. There we go. Okay, perfect. I'm pretty sure that's basically it. I'll go with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. Okay, let's read the next instruction. Using a loop, print each portion. I did that. Using pointer arithmetic, increase every portion's count by 3 after updating. Print all portions at their new counts. So let's go ahead and increase my portions count by 3. So I could do something like, let's say asterisk, a pair of parentheses, my pot counter variable. I'm going to increase it by 3. So pot counter. Okay. I should go with all variables. How do I go with all? Huh. Could I go with like another for loop? In that case, I could do that inside of my for loop right here. And guys, is the stream laggy again? Bro, if you want to go in AI field, there is no need of learning C++. Python Advanced is what you should go for. Honestly, yeah, but before I actually move on to AI, I do want to explore different programming languages and see which I enjoy the most. I could like enjoy software more than AI. Although, let me actually restart OBS because I feel it's lagging. Aren't you supposed to access the elements of the array through the pointer counter variable? I feel I should. Let me just restart my OBS. Okay, already mic testing, mic testing. Guys, I feel that should have fixed the lag. With pointer arithmetic, access the elements using the pointer would look like this. Oh, I see. Okay. In that case, let me go ahead and delete this. Inside of my for loop, I could go with something like, I can explain if you don't understand. Honestly, I think I actually understood that part. Okay, so I gotta go with asterisk. Let's go with PDR counter. So my pointer counter. Okay, my portion counter variable. I'm gonna plus that by I. Okay, that keeps increasing. Okay, let's go with plus I. Honestly, should I add that here? I feel like I should add it here. Okay, let me actually try that. This actually feels pretty... Okay, let me go ahead and paste that here. Okay. That's count pointers. Honestly, I need two variables. First is gonna be a portion count pointer. So I could go with the name here. Let me go ahead and copy that name, paste it here. Copy my counter and paste it here. Add a dereferencing operator. There we go. Okay, and then delete this. Go with a pair of curly braces. Okay, actually a pair of parentheses, not curly braces, my bad guys. This is going to be pot counter plus I. Okay, honestly, this actually makes more sense now. I thought that, I was actually thinking on how would we do it. This actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, next up I gotta add everything by threes. Okay, so I'm assuming the way I added by threes, I could go with asterisk, a pair of parentheses. Let's go with my pot counter. So I'll go with pot counter PDR. There we go. My pot counter. Is it spelled correctly? Okay, pot count PDR variable plus I. Okay, plus I. Let's say plus equals to 3. I feel this makes a lot of sense, guys. Okay, next up, let's add another standard console output, and let me paste this here. I think in near future, codes will be done using AI. Humans will be there to design architecture and do the high and low level design and debugging. This is happening even now in my company. Oh, I see. Honestly, many people do ask me that is it even worth it learning programming? I do say them that I think it is like worth learning programming because we're the ones that are going to be like developing the AIs. Honestly, I feel like AIs could develop AIs themselves, but like not as intelligent as them or like more intelligent than them. So like we need humans for like critical thinking. Depends on the task. Okay, if I hit Control S to save the code, wait, I think I should return 0. Okay, let me go ahead and return 0 inside of my main function. Okay, there we go. Let me go ahead and return 0. Okay, ending with a semicolon. If I were to hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command, guys, how do I get rid of this terminal? Okay, guys, I feel like I messed something up. How do we get rid of this terminal? Okay, should I like restart my... Okay, reset location? Guys, let me just restart my, whatchamacallit, VS Code. Let me get my VS Code back. Okay, I feel like I messed my terminal up. Maybe I don't check pointer. Okay, I think we're good, guys. Bro, you know what? Most of your viewers are Indian. Honestly, yeah, I do see that. Okay, let's go with the Control C to save the code and run the command. Depends on the task. I've had very little luck with beginning a production using AI when working on embedded system project. It always mixes up SDKs and chips. Oh, I see. Okay, save it, bro. Honestly, I did save it. Okay, so it says health of my first potion. Ta-ta. Okay, and after updated my potions, honestly, I should go with something like above my for loop. I could go ahead and add something like, let's say, a standard console output with an insertion operator. Right click and run. Right click. Oh, I could right click and run as well. That actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, standard console output. I'll say potions before update. So I'll go with something like 4 hyphens, potions before update. Okay, with 4 more hyphens. And then I'll add an insertion operator of a forward slash new line ending with a semicolon. Next up, let me go ahead and copy this part, delete it, add another for loop. So I could go with for a pair of parentheses. Okay, I'll add a pair of curly braces, paste this here. Okay, perfect. Standard console output right there. Okay, I think it's pretty good. Next up, let me copy this part and paste it in here. There we go. So it says for every I do all this. These are my updated potions. Let me go ahead and copy that as well. And like paste that here. And change my potions before update to potions after update. Alright, perfect. If I hit Ctrl S to save the code now and run the command. Yeah, it's not working with the string. Is it not? Okay, health mana. I think my strings are working. So these are potions before updates and these are potions after updates. So 2 is 5, 5 is 8, 0 is 3, 10 is 13, 7 is 10. Okay, perfect. If I were to go with the Control C to save the code, let's say slash chat GPT here. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then let me go ahead and paste this. Okay, time complexity of string for loop is ON. Huh. If your UMI is correct, AI will. It's not printing the names though. I think it is like printing the names. Like, if I like right click and run the code, it does say like the name. So like it says name. Can I like zoom in here? Okay, I don't think I can zoom in, but it says like name, health, name, mana, name, string, name, strength, name, speed, and these are my quantities. Okay, I think it does print these separate names. Howdy Samurai, appreciate you joining this stream. Okay, let's say here and read everything. Okay, yes people, look at this. This is still, let me get a little more here. There we go, look at this. This is pure pointer plus array plus string mastery. You're now printing both names and counts through pointers, updating values directly in memory using loops to scale your code with repetition, tiny sharpening notes. You could add conditions like bonus. Okay, so if is greater than 10, standard console output max capacity reached, else if, okay, asterisk a dereferencing operator of my pointer counter plus I is equal to 0. Okay, I'll add a standard console output with an insertion operator out of stock. This will make the output game ready just like an RPG inventory. People, next step. We can combine this with functions so you can pass your arrays by pointers, update counts inside a function, and see the magic of modifying memory. Do you want to forge that battle next? No, honestly say, just say. You can ask ChatGPT what is time complexity in programming. You can ask ChatGPT about time complexity. It matters a lot. Honestly, I could actually try that. Oh yeah, sorry, you're right. I didn't know this. Okay, let's go with the shift enter and say something like, although before that, someone from my stream said me to ask you about, let's say, what is time complexity in C++. Okay, I didn't want to add this in caps. Let's go with something like, what is time complexity in C++ question mark. Okay, I didn't want to use caps ... Okay, let's see. Oh, I see people. It's a bit early for time complexity, don't you think? Honestly, guys, I don't even know anything about it. You can do competitive programming that will boost your reasoning and problem solving skills. That actually sounds real fun. I might try it. Ah, I see people. Time complexity is one of the sharpest blades in a programmer's arsenal. It doesn't matter if your type is lowercase, the concept is fierce either way. Time complexity in C++ or any language, the time complexity measures how the runtime of your code grows as input size grows. Think of it like this: if you have one potion, it's easy to count. If you have a million potions, you want to know how long your algorithm will take. Okay, time complexity is expressed in big O notations, which abstracts away constants and focuses on growth. Scenario example: time complexity constant. Okay, guys, I feel I don't understand a thing. Pointers and arrays tie into this. Okay, accessing arrays at index of I or and the referencing operator of my PDR plus I is O1, instant constant time. Okay, looping through the array ON scales linearly with the array size. People understanding this will let you predict your program speed before it even runs. The mind of a true C++ warrior. Okay, guys, he's learning. Don't overwhelm him, guys. I feel like I did get overwhelmed. Let me say something like, say, this honestly feels a bit confusing. I might learn about this maybe later once I know the C++ basics. That said, can I get another question? Let's say this time, can it include, I don't know, like conditions, loops, maybe arrays, vectors? Honestly, instead of arrays, I do want to go with vectors this time and all its functions, including, let's say, size and capacity, and also all the loops. Dot dot dot. Guys, I have so many dude, so many typos, guys. I tried typing real quick. It takes constant time even after a million inputs. I see. Okay, by the way, did you check out CX50X? I told you to note that down. Honestly, I did want to check it, but I had like a lot of college stuff yesterday. Like, I had my assignments due like at the end of the day. That said, after the stream, if I have time, like after my college stuff, I'll definitely take a look into it. Because like usually the only time that I do have to program is while I stream. When I'm not streaming, I'm just working on my college stuff. That said, I see people. Time Time complexity can wait. You need to master your weapons first before worrying about the speed of the battle. Now, let's force the next challenge with everything you've been learning: pointers, vectors, loop, conditions, size, capacity, and iteration. Instructional based vector challenge. So, we create a main function, declare a vector of integers called potions, start empty. Okay, so my potions is not going to be consisting of anything. Ask the user how many potions they want to add and then take that many outputs in the vector. So I might need a while loop. Print the vector size and capacity before any updates. Use a for loop index base to create all potion counts by 2. Excuse me, guys. To increase all potion counts by 2, use ranged base for loop to print all potion counts after the update. So it's a range base, not a reference base. So I need a copy. Ask the user to remove a potion by its index and update the vector accordingly. Use a while loop to keep asking the user to remove potions until they type -1. Okay. After every removal, we print the current vector and its size and its capacity. This will test vector, pushback, erase, size, capacity functions, all types of functions for loops, range-based loops, while loops, pointer style thinking, even though vector manage memory. Okay. Conditional logic, removal plus check logic. Okay, let me get Sensei slash ChatGPT there. Said, Verdant, where are you in your career, as in working or college or both? Honestly, I am a freshman in college. That said, how are you doing, KB Cox? I appreciate you joining this stream. Okay, let's go with a Control A and delete everything. From Tell ChatGPT to give you a challenge problem so that you can check yourself with gaps you need to overcome. Honestly, I might actually do that. Okay, let's see. So firstly, I gotta create a main function that consists of a vector called potions, which only consists of integers. So I could start off by including a pair of ankle braces. I wanna include IO stream. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and typecast my main function to be an integer. So I'll go with integer main. Open just dropped agent builder without coding. Honestly, Open just dropped agent builder without coding. Okay, have you worked with new and delete keywords? Honestly, I've not worked with it yet. I'll actually. Oh my gosh, I was actually planning to leave it for next stream because that does sound like a pretty fun topic. Can we call it student? Second year. That actually sounds pretty cool. Okay, that's I'll go with a pair of curly braces. Maybe add a bunch of spaces. Okay, maybe get my main function a little lower. So inside my main function, let me go ahead and add a standard console output. OpenAI. Honestly, I feel like OpenAI is the company or someone that actually built ChatGPT/Sensei. Okay, let's see. Declare a vector of integers called portion, start empty. So I could go with a standard vector, okay, with a pair of ankle braces, which only consists of integers. It is going to be called portions, ending with a semicolon. Okay, my vector is empty. Since I am using vectors, let me go ahead and include vectors. So I'll go with hashtag include vectors. Right here. Okay, so hashtag include a pair of ankle braces. I want to include vector. Okay, did I spell include correct? Alright, there we go. Okay, and then main function. Alright, ask the user how many portions they want to add and take that many inputs to the vector. Okay, so let me go ahead and create a variable. So I could go ahead integer of count variable or ask count variable ending with a semicolon. Next up, let's go ahead and let me go ahead and add a while loop. So I'll go with while a pair of parentheses while my ask count variable is either greater than 0. I'm going to do something. I'll go with a pair of curly braces and add a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like enter. Okay, honestly, so it says ask the user how many portions they want to add and take that many input into the vector. Okay, enter the portion count. Okay, I'll end that with a semicolon and then add a standard console input with an extraction operator. Printing stars. I'm not a big fan of everything OpenAI is. Yes, AI can increase your speed a lot and you need to understand the language it's generating so that you can triple check the generated code. Honestly, yeah, printing stars. There's something new with AI every other night, not surprising. Bro, I think that you should switch to Java or Rust. Honestly, eventually I do want to learn Java and Rust. Rust, he's a beginner. The real pancake, you only need to know system design and design architecture principles. Give AI the correct UML, it will not mess up the code, honestly. Okay, let's see. The only things I usually see ChatGPT/Sensei messing up is, is usually messing up the harder stuff like, I don't know how to phrase it. For example, if I have like a 450 lines of code, I ask where is the error, that's when ChatGPT actually messes up. And I just realized I might not need my while loop here. Okay, let me go ahead and paste my ask here. There we go. Okay, this could be something like, how many potions do you want to add? How many potions do you want to add? Question mark. Which country are you from? Honestly, I've said that like 5 times I think in this stream. That said, many of you guys did say me to avoid saying a lot on which country I am, so I might not actually say that much. But since I said that in this stream, I think I could say which I am. Bro, I guess you should read chats after you're done with your task. I should actually do that. I keep getting distracted. Okay, let's go with ask count ending with a semicolon. I don't trust it to handle security very well, especially when one-shotting the prompt. It can also use an approach for some implementations that isn't good or correct. Ooh, I see. Okay, next up, I'll actually try not reading the chats and get distracted. Okay, print the vector size and capacity before any updates. Okay, ask the user how many portions they want to add and take that many inputs inside the vector. So I ask the user how many portions they want to add. Now I'll go with a while loop. So I'll go with while, a pair of parentheses. Okay, so while my ask count variable is greater than 0, I'll do something. I'll go with a pair of curly braces and then maybe create a standard string variable. This is going to be called pot names, ending with a semicolon. And then I add a standard console output with an insertion operator. Hey, remember me. How are you doing, Ruhan? I appreciate you joining the stream. Bro, focus on problem. Reach out after you're done. You need any help? Or do you need any help? What are we doing today? Honestly, I'm mastering pointers this stream. I did that last stream as well, but I didn't complete it last stream because I did have college assignments. That's it. I should like stop reading the chats. Let me actually focus. Okay, so ask the user how many potions they want to add. Take that many inputs in the vector. So how many potions? Okay, I gotta take those many inputs. I could go with a standard console output that says something like enter a potion. There we go. And then I'll go in a, actually I'll end that with a semicolon. Okay, and then let's go ahead and add a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my pot name. Okay, pot names. Okay, next up, print the vector size and capacity before any updates. Use a for loop index base to increase all potion counts by 2. Use a range based for loop to print all potion counts after the update. I feel like I'm understanding something wrong, because should I append these potions inside of my potions in vector? That I can't do because this is an integer. Okay, this is going to be my count. How many potions do you want to add? There we go. Okay, ask how many potions they want to add. I did that, and take that many inputs into the vector. How many potions do I want to add? Okay, so let's change this to something like integer. Okay, let's go with something like integer pot number. Okay, potion number. I recommend learning new and delete first. Vector are implemented under hood using new and delete exclamation, and you fix the stream lag. Haha. Honestly, I feel like it's so lucky that my stream isn't lagging, because it did lag like a lot before I started streaming, but for some reason it's not lagging right now. I guess I won't mess anything up. I'll just leave it like that. Okay, standard console outputs. This is potion. This is going to be pot number. So I'll go with pot number. Okay, let's see. Print the vector size and capacity before any updates. Okay, so these adds everything. I most likely should update it. So let's go ahead and add a, let's say potions. My potions is vector dot the push underscore back function. I want to push back my pot num variable. Okay, I'll end that with a semicolon. Okay, yes, real pancake. That's true, but the industry is shifting and coding is not difficult task anymore. Honestly, I feel it actually is kind of easy. You just need correct UML for low-level design, LLD, and AI will do the job without messing security. Update as count. Update as count. Honestly, I feel like it is update as count. Isn't it like updated? That's integer count. It's infinite loop for now. As count. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, my bad, guys. Okay, I gotta reset my asked underscore count. Let me decrease it by 1, so it keeps decreasing. Okay, perfect. Next up, outside my while loop, I print the vector size and capacity before any updates. So before I do this, let me go ahead and print the size and capacity of my vectors. So I could go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. This is going to be the size of my vector. I'll go with another insertion operator of my potions as vector. So potions dot the size function. Okay, with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. Excuse me, guys. That's it. Let's go with the capacity as well. So I'll go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. Many companies are giving Cursor or Windsurf free to their employees. In IT sector, you need to learn and adapt fast to the changes. Oh, I see. Okay, so I'll go with a standard console output. Let's go with something like capacity. Okay, with another insertion operator. I actually might go with a colon and space. There we go. This is going to be my potions as vector dot the capacity function. Okay, let's go with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. So I printed the size and capacity before any updates, and then I updated my vector. Okay, let's see. Print the vector size and capacity. Use a for loop index base to increase all potion counts by 2. So let's go with a for loop now. So I could go with for, a pair of parentheses. Okay, bro, just got distracted. Guys, I keep getting distracted. I should stop reading the chats. I mean, you shouldn't touch AI when you're trying to understand. Once you're close to mastery, then AI usage is fair as it's just doing the redundant work for you. Honestly, I do agree with that because like some people do say me to like wipe code means like ask like AI to give me a block of code, but I feel like if I just get the block of code and I don't understand it, like there wouldn't be a point of actually coding. Okay, that said, so let's go with an index-based for loop. So I could go with for every integer of I which equals to 0, while my I is, let's say, less than... Okay, while my I is less than my portions' size, so let's go with my portions vector dot the size function. I want to do something. I'll increment my I by 1. Okay, and then inside my for loop, I do something else. Let's see. To increase all portion counts by 2. So here's my portion count. So I could go with portions at index of I plus equals to 2. So portions at index of I plus equals to 2. You can't learn like this. You need to focus on your task per time. Don't read chats. Honestly, I should stop reading chats, guys. I won't be reading chats now. Okay, let's see. Okay, honestly, I feel my size and capacity should be under my while loop. There we go. And then now I update it right here. Let me go ahead and end that with a semicolon. The next step, ask the user to remove a portion by its index and update the vector accordingly. Okay, so I could say something. Okay, so thing is, should I go with another for loop? So I gotta ask the user to remove a portion by its index. I could go with another for loop. Yeah, only after completing or when you're stuck, then read chats. Honestly, I should read chats then. Okay, how many portions do you want to add? I could go ahead and create another variable called remove portion inside of my for loop. So let's create another for loop. For a pair of parentheses for the integer of I which equals to 0, while my I is less than my portions vector. Okay, dot the size function, I'm gonna increment my I by 1, so I'll go with I plus plus, and then add a pair of curly braces. Now, the thing is, could I do it inside this loop? I could have. Okay, so it says ask the user to remove a portion by its index, so I will need a variable. Okay, so I could go with something like integer remove a portion by its index. So I'll go with integer of remove pot. Okay, ending with a semicolon. Then inside of my for loop, I'm going to be, let's go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like remove a portion by its index. Okay, honestly, I could create an integer of index variable as well, which equals to 0. Inside my for loop, I'll set my index variable to be equal to I. Let me change that to int. Okay, okay, next up, let me go ahead and copy this and get this outside my for loop. Okay, if that's the case, I could copy that index variable and paste it right here. I might not need a for loop now. Okay, so let me delete this from here, copy the two of those, and get them under this right here. Okay. Alright, so I might not need this for loop now. Tomorrow is my exam. Honestly, good luck, waited. Okay, I wasn't about to read the chat, my bad. Okay, let's see. Ask the user to remove a portion. So let's go with a standard console output with an insertion operator that says enter a portion by its index. Okay, by its index to remove. Alright, perfect. I'll end that with a semicolon, and then let's add a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my, let's say, index variable. Okay, let's go with actually my remove pot variable. There we go. Ending with a semicolon. Okay, let's see next up. I might have to go with an if statement to check if that portion is equal to this. Okay. Enter a portion to remove. This is my portion size. It increases by 1. Maybe I print the size and capacity again. Okay, let's see, guys. I think I need some water for processing this. character, not console. Honestly, I did ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT did say it's like console. Okay, let's see. Standard. So enter a portion. So I enter a portion here. That is my remove portion. Now let's go with the if statement. So if a pair of parentheses, let's say if my remove pot, okay, so if my remove pot variable is equal to, okay, should I like do that inside of my for loop? I could actually do that. Okay, let me delete that. Maybe go with another for loop, copy that, paste it, delete these. Okay, so I want to remove it by its index. I could go with something like my portion. Oh, okay, I got it. My portions is vector at index of my index variable. Okay, dot the remove function, actually dot the erase function, so portions dot erase. Let's go with my portions vector dot the erase function. I want to erase something. Okay, I want to erase something from my portions as vector. Let's go with dot the begin function. There we go. Okay, so portions dot begin, this gives me access to the first element. Now the position, this removes the first element. I want to remove my remove pot element. Remove pot. There we go. Can't I go with remove pot? This is supposed to be a number, an integer, right? Okay, portions.erase, portions.begin plus remove pot. Okay, I think this is perfect, guys. Okay, that was a lot to think. Okay, that said, ask the user to remove a portion by its index and update the vector accordingly. Okay, use a while loop to keep asking the user to remove portions until they type -1. Okay. So I'll use a while loop to ask the user to keep removing a portion until they type -1. Let's see. Okay, we're talking Hindi so that you can focus. Guys, I don't know how to read Hindi. I should actually learn. Okay, I'm joined to Discord. What PR Flux name? Honestly, I feel like, guys, I should actually learn Hindi. That said, ask the user to remove a portion by its index and update the vector accordingly. Use a while loop to keep asking the user to remove portions until they ask -1. Okay, let's see. So keep asking. So I might use a while loop. So let's go with while a pair of while a pair of parentheses. Okay, enter, ask the user to remove a portion by its index and update the vector accordingly. Use a while loop. Okay, so while, let's say something like, I could go with something like while true. Okay, so let's go with something like while true, a pair of curly braces, I'll do something while my condition is true. Okay, keep asking the user to remove portion until they type -1. So I'll go with a standard console output. Okay, with an insertion operator. Honestly, I could go with an if statement. Let's go with an if statement. So if a pair of parentheses, so if, let me create a variable. I'll go with something like integer of ask. And then while my ask variable is not equal to 0, I'm going to do something. I'll go with a pair of curly braces and add a standard console output with an insertion operator. Let's say something like enter a, let's say, portion to remove. Enter a portion index to remove. Okay, maybe I'll go with something like -1 to exit. -1 to exit. Okay, perfect. I'll add a colon here. And let me end that with a semicolon. That said, let's go with a standard character input with an extraction operator. That's why we're talking Hindi, so you can read and focus. Guys, I should learn Hindi actually. Okay, let's go with ask. Guys, I should actually, add a translation plugin because I do like reading the chats. Okay, let's see. Let's go with something like else a pair of curly braces. Honestly, if ask is not equal to 0, I keep doing that. Okay, let's go with an else clause. Else I'll break. Okay, else if my ask, or I could go with something like another if statement. So if a pair of parentheses, if my ask variable is equal to -1, is not equal to -1. Okay, I'll go with a pair of curly braces and break. Ended with a semicolon. Alright, perfect. Next up, let's see. Okay, use a while loop to keep asking the user after every removal, print the current vector, its size, and its capacity. Excuse me, guys. So after every removal, so once I'm done with removing, I gotta print the current vector, its size, and capacity. Should I go with like a for loop? Okay, so let's go with a for loop. So for a pair of parentheses, I'll do something. Justin joined today. Honestly, I actually forgot. I should like my memory's so bad when it comes to reading names. I think he did join. Okay, so for let's say okay, for every removal, print the current vector, its size and capacity. Okay, so for every vector removal, I gotta print the size and capacity. So inside of my if statement, once I remove a vector, okay, or could I go with something like, okay, honestly, maybe I go with a flag variable. So let me go ahead and add a boolean of removed. I'll set that equal to false initially. Okay, let's see. Okay, and then inside of my for loop, I'm gonna check something. So if this condition does happen, I'm gonna set my removed boolean variable to be equal to true, ending with a semicolon. Okay, now outside my for loop, I could check every time a portion is removed, I display my entire inventory again, and the size and capacity. Okay, I think this is making sense now. Integer asks, so that's my ask. Let's go outside my if statements, and I could type something like, I don't know, let's add an if statement. So if a pair of parentheses, if my removed boolean variable is set to true, I'll do something. I'll add a pair of curly braces, and then I could go with a standard console output. Honestly, I gotta print the current vector. So if that does happen, let's do something. Okay, I have an index variable which equals to I. Let me just charge my laptop. Let me just plug it in. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if removed, I'm going to be going with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to print something like, let's see, the current vector or vector after removal. Okay, so this is going to be my vector after the removal. I'll go with another insertion operator. I'm going to be inserting my portions at index of my index variable. There we go. And then I'll add another insertion operator of an empty space. Okay. Honestly, I should like end it with a new line as well. So I'll go with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. So this updates my vector. Next up, I gotta print the size and capacity as well. So let me go ahead and maybe go back. There we go. Honestly, just for readability, let me just add this in a new line. There we go. Okay, next up, let's print the size and capacity. So I could go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. Let's go with something like vector size. Or I could go with something like size. Vector after removal. This is my portion. Okay, and then let's go with a size. Okay, so my size. Honestly, I could have added this like above. I mean, I think this looks good as well. Let me go with another insertion operator of my portions as vector dot the size function. Okay, I don't think this should be in a pair of double quotes. Okay, my portions is vector dot the size function. So this is going to be the size of my portion. I'll add another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. That said, let's go with my capacity now. So I'll go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I'll go with my potions' capacity. There we go. With another insertion operator of my potions' vector dot the capacity function. Okay, and then I'll add a pair of, actually I'll add another insertion operator of a forward slash new line ending with a semicolon. Maybe I fixed my capacity spelling. Okay, there we go. After every removal, print the current vector, its size, and its capacity. I printed my vector, its size, and its capacity. Okay, perfect. Lastly, let me go ahead and return 0. If I hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Okay, so... Okay, how many potions do you want to add? I don't know, maybe I want to add like 6 potions. Enter a potion. The first potion is going to be consisting of 2 potions, 3 potions, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, size is 6, capacity is 8. Enter a potion by its index to remove. I want to remove my potion at index 0, which is 2, so I'll go with 0. Okay, enter a potion to remove to... Okay, I want to remove the potion from index 2. I want to remove the potion from index 3. And then I'll end it. I'll go with -1. Okay, vector after removal, 9. Okay, it says 9. Let me go ahead and honestly remove this part. Okay, so I'll remove my remove potion. Honestly, I don't even like use that. Okay, let's go with the Ctrl S again. Insertion is the bit shift operator. Oh, is it called bit shift? I thought it was called the insertion operator. I could like start calling it the bit shift operator. Okay, that said plus remove pot. Okay, let's go ahead and copy that. Delete that from there. I actually might add this right here. Okay, plus my ask. There we go. Okay, while you're not wrong, he's in C++. Oh, I see. Are they called something different in different languages? Okay, that said, when I print my whole vector again, I'm pretty sure this should go in a for loop. So let me go ahead and add a for loop inside of my if statement. So for a pair of parentheses, let's say for every integer of I which equals to 0, while my I variable is, let's say, less than my potions vector dot the size function, I'm going to do something. Okay, I'm going to increment my potions vector. Actually, I'm going to increment my I by 1. So let's go with I++. Okay, and then I'll go with a pair of curly braces. And then go ahead and copy that. Paste it all the way here. There we go. Okay, maybe indent that and de-indent that. Okay, so instead of going with index, I'll go with I. So potions at index of I. Okay, so that prints all my potions in a new line. Okay. Okay, it prints it all in one line. Let me get my new line outside. Okay, so outside my for loop, let's go with a standard console output with an insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon. That said, I print the size, I print the capacity. Okay, perfect. Let me go ahead and Ctrl S to save the code. I told you the shortcut to move lines. Oh, I actually forgot. What was the shortcut again? I remember it was something like Alt Shift. Was it like Alt Shift? Already mic testing. Guys, my OBS actually just crashed. Okay, that said, let me go with the Ctrl S to save the code and run the command. Let's see. How many potions do you want to add? Let's say I want to add 6 potions. The first potion consists of 2 pots, second 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Size is 6, capacity is 8. Remove a potion. I want to remove the potion from index 0 and index, let's say, I don't know, maybe 6. Actually, index 5. Okay, and then I'll go with a -1. Okay, vector removal after... Okay, 6 vectors after removal, 7 vectors after removal, 8. Size 3, capacity 8. Okay, so 6, I removed 2 potions. -1 should remove the last index. Okay, I could go with something like exit, but that is an integer. Huh, did I, like, does this honestly make sense? Let me go with the Control-A, Control-C, copy that, get /GPT here. There we go. Okay, let me go ahead and paste this, go with Shift-Enter and say something like, say, I feel like it works, but also I feel like I messed up, question mark. Guys, did I read the instructions wrong? Okay, maybe I hydrate my lips. Okay, I see what you did, pupil. You're very close, but there are a few critical battle wounds in your code. Let's examine them carefully. The ask variable in your loop, integer ask, if ask is not equal to -1, whenever I ask you to do something, shit crashes. Kinda ironic, guys. Actually, it does sound pretty ironic. I actually might try that. Okay, so integer ask, if ask is not equal to 0. Here the ask is uninitialized. When you check ask not equal to 0, that's dangerous, could hold garbage memory. The prompt should come before checking the value, okay? And then standard console output, this is going to be my ask variable. If ask is equal to -1, I break, erase code. Erasing from vector without bounce check. If the user enters an index out of range, a program will crash. If ask is greater than or equal to 0 and our ask variable is less than our portions with vector dot size, portions dot erase, portions dot begin plus ask, else standard console output that says invalid index. The removed boolean logic, you only print after removals if at least one removal happened. That's fine, but make sure the message happens inside the loop or after every removal, depending on how you want your battlefield updates displayed. Okay, incrementing portion values for the integer of I, which equals to 0, while my I is less than my portions is vector dot the size function. I increment my I by 1, okay. Portions at index of I plus equals to 2. The index variable here does nothing useful. You can remove it. Honestly, it does not do anything. Once these are fixed, your code will let the user portions. Okay, I think I understand where I messed up. Let's see. Okay, first I do want to try the moving line stuff. So maybe I highlight something, go with Alt Shift Control up. So Alt Shift Control up. Does this moving line up? Okay, is that like for highlighting? Huh, I think that's like for highlighting. Okay, that's let's see. A standard console output. So if removed, firstly, I gotta get my ask variable outside. Okay, so integer ask is outside my while loop. So if my ask is not equal to -1, so is that what I had to do? Ditch the control. Okay, let me go ahead and copy that part. Alt Shift up. Wait, we could actually do that? That's actually pretty insane. I might actually not have to type the codes up. IIRC versus code, Alt Shift arrow up down is the shortcut. Oh, I see. Alt Shift up down. I'm on Linux. Windows shortcut ditches the control. Oh, I see. That's actually real useful. Okay, let's see. Erasing the vectors. So the place where I was messing up. So I go with a standard console output while true. Okay, so I might not have to add an if statement here. So let me go ahead and remove that. Honestly, let me remove everything from here. Okay, so let's go with a standard console output to entry, entry portion index, and then I'll add a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my ask variable, and then I ask an if statement. So if my ask variable is not equal to, let's say, or honestly is equal to -1, I'm gonna do something. Let me go ahead and break. Okay, honestly, I might not have to go in a new line. I'll just go with break. There we go. Okay, so if my ask equals to 1, my while loop ends. Alright, perfect. That said, I'm not using my index variable as well. So let me go ahead and remove my index variable. Okay, I did want to use that, but I think that there's no use to use it. Okay, so I remove everything. Okay, so once I ask something to the user, let me go with something like my removed variable. Excuse me, I'll set that equal to true because I did want to remove something. Okay, now I got to remove that stuff. Okay, let's see, how do I remove it? For removing it, I could go with, okay. Okay, let's see. So I gotta remove it. VS 2022 user here, haha. Ooh, okay, so let's see how to remove something from inside of my vector. I gotta use the erase once my user types something. So I added a while loop here. So once my user types something, my remove is set to true. Then inside of my removed for loop, if something is removed, I do something. Okay, maybe I should go with an if statement. If ask equals to 0, I break. Before that, I could go with something like my portions is vector dot the erase function. I want to erase something. I should write VS Code for C++. Honestly, I thought VS Code is the, like, when I was first installing VS Code, I thought that, VS Code is like the only compiler that actually uses C++, but I think I was kind of wrong. Okay, and then I'll go with portions dot, let's say, begin. This gives me access to the first portion inside of my vector. I've used VS Code since 2018 or 19 with auto updates, so already mic testing. Okay guys, my OBS did crash. I have to like restart it. Although I am actually I think like today's a pretty lucky day because the lag has been real less. That said, let's go with portions.begin plus my ask function. And I'll end that with a semicolon. Okay. Yes, very, but it's okay. Oh, I see. Okay, let's see. Removed ask, and if a portion is removed, I do that. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. If I would hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. How many portions do you want to add? I'll go with something like I want to add 6 portions. Enter a portion. The first portion is going to consist of 2, second 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Size 6, capacity 8. Enter a portion with an index. I want to remove the portion at index 3, which is, I'm pretty sure it's 5. And then I'll go with something like -1. There we go. Vector after portion removal 5, vector after portion removal 6, 8, 9. Oh, I think I know what to do. Let me go ahead and delete these parts. Maybe add 4 hyphens and like 4 more hyphens here. Okay, then I copy the standard console output and I get that under my for loop. Okay, actually above my for loop. There we go. Okay, and then I go with a for loop here. Let me end that with an insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. Then let's go ahead and add a standard console output with an insertion operator of portions at index of I. Okay, now if I hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command, depends on what you want to do with it, GUI, etc. I can complain, but it does have bugs. AMD versus VS Code is definitely lighter for console stuff, but shortcuts need tweaking after getting used to VS Code. Oh, I see. You don't need to highlight when moving one single line. You need to highlight when moving more than one line. Oh, I see. Okay, that does make sense. Okay, let's go with 6. I'll go with something like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, enter a portion to remove. So I could go with something like, I want to remove the portion at index of 5, and then I'll go with -1. Okay, vector after removal, so it's 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Huh, did I like mess up somewhere? I feel like I read the instructions wrong. Okay, first let me go ahead and print my portion after appending everything inside of my vector. So I print the size and capacity. Let me go ahead and maybe go with a for loop here. So with for, a pair of parentheses. Let's see, for every integer of I which equals to 0, while my I is less than 10, I'm going to do something. I'm going to increment my I by 1, add a pair of curly braces, and then above my for loop, I'll go with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator that says something like 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be a vector before updates. So vector before updates, okay, with 4 more hyphens, and then inside my for loop, maybe I'll go with a new line. Okay, and then inside my for loop, I could go with something like a standard character or a standard console output with an insertion operator. Alt plus up down is moves line, shift plus alt plus up is copy down. Oh, I see. Okay, so if I were to like copy this line and I went with alt, that actually does move lines. Okay, this is actually going to be so useful. I'm actually going to use this. Okay, let's see. I'll go with my portions as vector at index of I. with another insertion operator of, let's say, an empty space ending with a semicolon. Outside my for loop, let's copy that, go with Alt down. Guys, this is actually so useful. Okay, so let me go ahead and add a standard console output with an insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. That's my portion before updates. Okay, and this is my portion after updates. So let's go with the Control S to save the code. Honestly, let me go ahead and copy that. Portions. Maybe I could go with raw vector. So let's go with something like raw vector. Okay, this is my raw vector. Okay, maybe I like title case it. There we go. And then after I add 2 to my portions, I could go with a standard console output. So let's go with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator that says vector. Maybe I go with like, there we go. Let's say something like vector plus 2. Okay, there we go. And then another insertion operator of a forward slash new line ending with a semicolon. Never heard VS Code and light together. I thought they were oxymorons. Electron is just slow, can't do anything about it. VS 2022 is heavy in comparison. Oh, I see. Honestly, could it be because of my VS Code that my OBS lags? I don't know, guys. I'm just... Okay, let me go ahead and paste my for loop here. And then inside of my for loop, a static console output. Okay, perfect. And after asking the user, I print it all over again. Okay, maybe should I go with the size and capacity? Yeah, I could honestly print the size and capacity as well. So let me go ahead and print my size and capacity. Okay, there we go. And let me honestly print my size and capacity here as well. So let's go ahead and paste my size and capacity. Okay, I think this is perfect. If I hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command, it's going to say how many portions do you want to add. I'll go with 6. The first portion consists of 2 portions, second is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it says raw vectors, so these are my raw vectors. Why are there like a few zeros here? Okay, that is vector plus 2. Okay, vector plus equals to 2. Okay, these are my vectors doubled. Okay, and then size, capacity, I want to remove a portion. So I want to remove, let's say 7. That is going to be 1, 2, 3. That is going to be at index of 3. Then I'll go with -1. Okay, vector after removal. So it's... I did remove 7. Okay, I feel like... Am I messing up somewhere? So when I, iterate over my vectors, why do I get zeros? It's a lighter for the features it provides. It's not a full-blown IDE like IntelliJ, but IntelliJ is so much heavier than VS Code. Everything has its pros and cons. Oh, I see. Okay, what I do here... I feel like I did the same thing. Okay, let me scroll up again. Oh, I see. I went with 10. My bad, guys. This is going to be my portions.thesize function. Okay, there we go, guys. I had a small typo. Let me change this to my portions.thesize function as well. Okay, now if I hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command, this should work. I use VS Code and NeoVim, mainly NeoVim, but VS Code with okay, let's go with something like 6 portions. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Okay, now it's perfect. Okay, enter a portion that you want to remove. I want to remove my portion at index of 0, so I'll go with 0. And then maybe 1, then -1. So now I should see 6, 7, 8, and 9. I see 7, 8, and 9. Okay, I think there's a small bug. But let me go ahead and copy that, get /chatgpt here. I feel like I almost... Okay, honestly, I think the bug is because I add -1 to exit my code. I should add like something like exit. That said, let me say something like should say... I feel like it works now, exclamation, ... That said, I think that the small bug is because I exit the code when typing -1. That most likely indicates towards the last element of my vector. Okay, that said, I am honestly planning to anti-stream because I do have some college assignments to do. So after checking my code, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers before I end the stream? Question mark. Okay, you said -2, not -1. Oh, I did say -2. Hold up, let me just fix that real quick. Guys, I should like work on my typos because like I feel like I type so quick, but I have like so many typos. There we go. Okay, let me go ahead and send this. Okay, listen up, pupils in the chat. Vivek has fought bravely today, mastering vectors, pointers like training, loops, conditionals, and memory manipulation. Remember, C++ is like forging a blade. Every loop, every vector, every loop, every vector operation, every pointer dereferencing sharpens your skills. Mistakes aren't failures, they're sparks that heat the steel. Quote to carry with you. The difference between a master and a novice is that a master has failed more times than a novice has ever tried. This quote was said by Stephen M.C. Crane, as I pronounce the name. Vivek will be back soon to tackle more challenges, and I expect everyone to keep the warrior spirit alive. Get your pens and homework and your notes ready because battle in college and C++ awaits. Pupils, go crush those assignments. Your next pointer and dynamic memory stream awaits. Do you speed test before ending? Yeah, only Java is an exception. I might consider IntelliJ. Honestly, I don't think like a speed test. That said, let me go to my main camera, or like my main camera. That said, this was basically it for the stream. I did want to work more on like I didn't want to like stream for longer. That said, I do have a lot of college stuff. Also, I feel like I do understand pointers perfectly now. Next stream, I will go through. Pretty sure the delete and the start keyword. That said, if you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Like helps with my algorithm. Sharing makes you smile, and subscribing is like a cherry on top. And guys, once I get my PC, that is gonna. I mean, once I do get my PC and like build it, I will make a video on actually building that. That said, once I get my PC, that will fix all my OBS lag, and I am going to be starting to multi-stream once again on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, let's say Instagram and TikTok as well at the same time. So if you guys do enjoy my content and haven't followed me there yet, make sure to follow me there. Link is in the description, and also join the comments and also join the Discord. You guys can get my Discord server's link by typing !Discord on the chat. That said, I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace. Okay, vectors are containers like you store 2 byte of data and you input 3 byte. It expands the array, doubling its size. Also, vectors are used in 3D graphics to deal with X, Y, or XYZ. Ooh, I see. Best of luck with your assignments. I appreciate you, Q. Okay, I'll catch you guys in next